Okay, so this section is 12.2 relating to percent change and exponential functions. So follow along because I think this really pertains to really reading this out loud. So when the amount A changes to a new amount B, then the percent change is calculated as B minus A, all divided by A. And then you multiply it by 100 to put it into percent. So this is a percent change formula. So this is the general form that we use. If you go to the next page, complete the following. Find the percent change of an account balance that increases from $500 to $1,000. So again, A is going to be 500, B is 1,000. So you take the 1,000, which is the new amount, minus the old amount divided by the old, and then you multiply that by 100. So you get 100% increase is what's happening here. Now for B, your balance decreases from 1,000 to 500. So this one is a little bit different. A is 1,000 and B is 500. So it's the new minus the old divided by the old. And so then you multiply that by 100. And because of the fact that you get negative, because 5 minus 1,000 makes it negative, you have a decrease of 50% that's happening here. So that's a nice two examples where most people would thought it would have decreased by 100, but because this one increased by 100, that's not the case there. And so in example 5, the account did not increase by 100%, and then the decrease by 100 to return to the account to initial amount. So that was what I just pointed out. The percent change in growth factor. Suppose that a savings account A increases from $200 to $600. So again, it's the new minus the old divided by the old times 100, which gives you a 200% increase. So note that the account balance tripled from 200 to 600 because it went from 2 to 4 to 6, so it tripled. But the percent change is still 200%, not 300%. Also, the increase in the account balance 400 because 600 minus 200 is $400. So this $400 increase does equal a 200% increase of 200. So let R represent the percent change. Okay, that's the percent change as the decimal. So if we take 200% of 200, we change the 200% back to decimal by dividing by 100. Okay, then multiply by 200 to get the 400. Okay, so then you see this pattern of an equation increase coming about. So it's just R times A to give you the increase. So we can step through that. So in general, the percent increase in an account balance A is given by R in decimal form. Then the amount of increase A is equal to RA. So that's our increase. And the new balance after the increase is going to be A plus the increase. So that's why we have A plus that. So for example, $200 increased by 200%. Okay, we would make R2 and A $200. So then we have the 2 times the 200, which gives us 400. But then we want to know how much we have all together, so we add in the 200 that we started with to give you the 600. So that shows you that amount. So this is important that you kind of go through this a few times. So again, the final equation is the A plus the RA, but we can distribute out the A to get A times the 1 plus the R. So that's what's happening here. And this is how this equation comes about that's developing that we're doing. So thus the account increases to 2 to 600, the increase of 400, and the percent increase is 200%. So this is a growth factor equal to A equal to 1 plus R, where 1 is the original and then 2 is the increase. Okay, so in the next tape we will go over examples of how all this works.